Welcome to Frugal Over 50. I'm Amy, and I'm happy to welcome you here today to my channel where we talk about everything related to frugality, minimalism, and intentional living, especially aimed at the needs of the mature woman. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you'll consider subscribing to this channel, especially when you see what we have today. Today is sort of a community event. This is going to be a part 2 of a video that I did a couple weeks ago, and that video was called Talk to Me. The reason I made that video is because the comments section of this particular YouTube channel is solid gold. In fact, if you are new, I would encourage you to go back and watch some of the earlier videos and then make sure to read the comments because you will really get a lot out of them. And you may also find something that you want to contribute, sort of leaving your contribution for future viewers of these same videos. Content about frugality and minimalism and intentional living tends to be timeless, and so whenever someone discovers a particular video, they'll have your comment. For today, we have 6 or 7 particular comments, and then I'd like to also highlight some general themes of comments that I have seen in the comment section so far. First of all, thank you so much for your comments, for your support. This is still almost a brand new channel, and already, even with this, what I'd like to call a niche market or perhaps a boutique channel, as I'm filming this, we're edging up on 150 subscribers. That's amazing. I don't think I know 150 people in real life, and yet here you are. So thank you very much. And thank you to those of you who took the time a couple of weeks ago to write real specific comments. Some of you wrote in detail, and I'm going to read each one and then give my response to them. Now, these are not in any particular order, although I do have one that I am saving until the very end because I think that particular comment represents a goal for me and perhaps something that will become a goal for you as well. I'm going to be looking off to the side here as I read these off of my computer screen. You may see the light going dim or brighter again as I deal with trying to keep my screen from going dark. Here we go. First of all, I want to thank a writer named Passive Income Tom. By the way, Tom has a YouTube channel which is absolutely fascinating, detailing his own personal journey towards adding aspects of passive income to his life. And if you'd like to join that channel, you'll get the experience of watching somebody start that from scratch, which I think is very instructive because so many of the channels about passive income were not started until the person reporting on it had already made a huge success of it and decided to talk about that. And Tom is detailing his journey from the beginning, and it's very interesting. Now, here is what Tom had to say to all of us. He said, "One tip I try to use monthly is to pay myself first. That means to invest first before paying my bills." I really have sort of gravitated toward this idea recently, and Tom, I want to thank you for bringing this up. There was another person who I heard on a podcast talk about this, and they talked about giving first. So in other words, deciding what's important to you besides your bills and doing that first, because if you don't do it first, you probably won't do it at all. And I've been thinking about having the courage to take that leap myself. If and when I do, and I think it might be soon, I'll try to remember to report it to you, and it'll be thanks to you, Tom. So thank you very much. All right, next we have Ozark Picker, and Ozark Picker is a stalwart commenter here. Thank you so much. We've had some lovely conversations actually in the comment sections, and I'm just delighted that you decided to comment here as well. So let me read yours. It says, "A tip I always like to use." Oh, wait, so let me do that again. It says, "A tip is," wait, I'm trying to get this right. I'm going to leave all this in. I'm not going to edit it out. I want you to see how carefully I'm trying to read your comments here. "A tip I always like," there, I got it right, "is to use up a product or food before opening new ones. Less clutter and less waste. Also, don't stock more than you can use in a year because items do go bad." And then her last tip is, "Have frugal friends like you for encouragement." Now, I think these are all great. I really wanted to highlight the first one because I want you to know that it inspired me over the last couple of weeks. I've had some times where just because of being tired, I felt like going out and spending something. And I would think, you know what, I have that at home. I don't need to, I haven't used it up. I don't need to go buy a new one. I'm fine. And I'll give you a really kind of not great example, but it's true. I have lots of things at home that I could use to make nachos and enchiladas, and I even had a friend drop by with homemade empanadas today. And yet, when I picked up my children from school, I thought to myself, I bet we could swing by Taco Bell. I have a lot of miscellaneous money left in my cash envelope, and I could buy my kids some Taco Bell. And then I thought, what am I doing? I haven't used up the less junky, less drunk food-y, much more healthy Taco Bell-ish food that I have at home. So thank you for your very direct and very immediate inspiration. All right, next we have Angie from, and I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly, and Angie says, I'm going to read this whole paragraph here because it's very intensely detailed and very helpful here. She says, Tightwad Gazette is my go-to motivation book for frugality. And then she's talking about what the book Tightwad Gazette means to her. And it says this, one thing she talks about, as in the book, is 3 things to consider when being frugal. Time it takes to do a task, effort it takes for the task, and level of enjoyment of the task. Example, cloth diapering our babies saved a lot of money for our family. It was minimal amount of work, and although I didn't enjoy it, it gave me great satisfaction. So I think this is great. Consider the time it takes, the effort it takes, and the level of enjoyment. So before Marie Kondo, we had the Tightwad Gazette. That's what I need to put on my list to either buy from Amazon real cheap or get from the library. Thank you very much. All right, next we have, as part of several congratulatory comments, Kate Caden, whose channel is just brilliant and has been super helpful. She wrote, happy 3-month anniversary, woohoo! And just about every other commenter said the same here. I'm just past my 3-month anniversary on YouTube and love it more every single day, and I really appreciate the support. Kate, thank you so much. Now we have the Frugal Minimalist. The Frugal Minimalist is a powerhouse channel where you can go and find every video is like 40 frugal things that you can do right now with like the netting from your garlic bag. It's just absolutely brilliant. I sit there wanting to take notes, and I feel like she should give us an essay test. So Wendy over at the Frugal Minimalist is somebody you really need to check out. And here is what Wendy has to say. She also says, congratulations, thank you. And thank you, Wendy, for your support. Let's see here. She says, my best tips would be to auto-deduct savings from your checking accounts. Know where your money is going by examining all your transactions regularly and having a critical eye to every single one. And, hang on, I gotta click read more because there's more here. And have some goal of an age for retirement early on. Even if it's just a general age that states the decade, that will help bring perspective early on. She says, haha, I typed too much. You know what? That's not even a little bit too much. It's fantastic. So you're kind of echoing here something that Tom said earlier. He talks about investing before paying the bills, and this is auto-deduct savings. In other words, automate it. But then when it comes to your transactions, Wendy from the Frugal Minimalist is saying, don't automate your transactions to the degree that you don't know what you're doing. Look at them with a detailed and critical eye. And then also think about when you're actually going to retire, even if it's just which decade. So this is wonderful. Now, in general, there has been a theme to the comments, which is as follows. I get a lot of people saying their age, Thank you, women in your 50s, for saying your age. And also we get some fellas coming along for the ride too. So everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. Thank you so much for your comments and your contributions. But I love it when I get, I'm a woman, I'm 54, I've been frugal all my life, and I'm glad to find a channel like this. Well, you need to know I feel a little bit of an imposter syndrome when you folks who have been frugal all your lives come on here. And that's why I really need you in the comments, because this is my personal journey. I'm still in debt. In fact, I just incurred a car repair bill because I had not one but two fans in my motor go out. And I've got a car repair bill of almost $700 that I have to deal with, and my cash envelope system is not going to cut it. So join me on the journey as I take 3 steps forward and 5 steps back sometimes. But I am determined to live frugally from here on out in ways that I have not in the past. And those of you who have shared these comments, you're speaking from years and even decades of powerful experience. There's another thing that I'd like to talk about here, which is that sometimes, looking at this last comment I want to read here, make sure I can catch it here. Sometimes I'm getting comments that I think really ring true for me, and that's this, sort of a general theme of I am always frugal, but it's sort of like they're saying, I'm not going to make a book out of it or a channel, I'm not going to be a star of frugality, because no matter what I do, there are always house repair bills, car repair bills, medical debt, job loss. There are certain things that you just can't account for. And financial planners and the books and all these people who talk about being frugal in order to have financial success, they may not be able to account for the things that just absolutely derail you financially. And in my case, it was a combination of things, which I want to talk about in a future video. I'm going to give you my financial autobiography without facts and figures, but talking more about history and mindset. And there's been a lot come into play for why I am where I am today, looking quite middle class and living on the surface quite comfortably, but with a great deal of financial stress underneath. And the peace of mind that I have gotten from talking to you folks over the last 3 months has been priceless, absolutely priceless. And the money that I have saved has paid for some things. It's not enough to pay for that almost $700 car repair bill, but I'm not in more debt. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just in such a better position just over the last 3 months. So it's been a brilliant 3 months, and you folks have talked to me throughout. Now, the other thing that I wanted to highlight in terms of general comments, besides that really key piece of wisdom that sometimes no matter how frugal we are, life gets us. The other thing is that I think it's been worthwhile for me recently to be sort of honest about who I am and what I do, that I really have those 2 degrees, I said this in my last video, that the world considers completely useless. And it's funny, I went to a seminar today on online education, which is my passion right now at the university where I teach, and talked to the guy who was leading it, and he was a music major too. And we were just talking about that. And then this other guy chimed in, he said, yeah, I'm a pilot, but I love everything. I love to study everything. And I'm not sure that what our society tells us about what is useful for us to study has a whole lot to do with how our brains function or how our passions direct us. And so a big part of what makes me interested in frugality is also my interest in theater and music. I love to sing. If I can find anything copyright free that I could sing to you, I think I might sing to you in a future video. But I don't think I could sing more than 27 seconds of anything before YouTube would shut it down. So we'll see how that goes. If any of you are songwriters and want me to sing you a song, send it to me and I'll give it a try. I'm a soprano. I'm sure you can tell. All right, so really all of these comments bring together the whole of the frugality picture that I have gained from you folks and that we've shared here on this channel so far. And it is about stepping back and looking at everything in your whole life circumstance and then looking in great detail and figuring out what you're going to spend, how you're going to spend it, what are your priorities now and what are your priorities later. And then I want to close with this absolute beauty that I keep thinking about it and it makes me emotional. I think I'm going to go from curmudgeon lady to crying lady here on YouTube. I don't know what's the matter with me. But Jean Bose is a commenter who said this. And listen carefully, folks. You might want to take notes here. She says, as a senior, I do not see how I can be any more frugal. I am both comfortable and happy. Isn't that brilliant? I don't see how I can be any more frugal. I am both comfortable and happy. Oh my God, I'm crying again. And then she said this, which I thought injected just the right touch of cheeky humor here. She says, I enjoy meeting the capitalism challenge. And this is goals for me. Goals with 5 Z's at the end. And Jean, if you're still watching, geez, thank you so much. You made me cry. And this idea of having achieved your frugality goals and knowing that you're also comfortable and happy and you understand capitalism as something that a game you can play. This is just brilliant, and thank you so much for sharing. All right, my emotion is not just for Jean, it's for each one of you. Thank you for sharing these 3+ months with me. If you are new here and you like this kind of content, if you'd like to share in the comments or if you'd like to suggest ideas for videos, please do down below. And consider subscribing. Give me a like if you like this video, especially if you like all these lovely comments. Thank you, folks. And hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified first of new videos. I want to thank you again and again and over again for helping make me more frugal, more minimal, and more intentional in living. Thanks, folks. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.